with everything, I'll just let you know what I'm going to speak today about. Initially, like Professor Raj sir told, why I went there instead of staying in India. What is the reason why I went to US is something which I'll be talking about. I'll be speaking to you regarding the skills which are required in order to have a good professional life, the challenges which I faced, which I guess you may also face when you go to US or to any professional career if you want to start a career, and then the experiences which I had during what I worked in US. So let me start with the big question, why I did not stay back and why I went to US. I guess majority of your friends have also might gone to US. They might have some other reasons. So my basic reason why I went to US instead of staying there is because of exposure. Exposure that I was going to get there was immense. Till now, or till I was I guess 22, 23 years old, I was in this cocoon of staying with my family, in all the protections, in all the luxuries of life. Like, I used to just get up and my mom used to serve a cup of tea and then something like that. So the life was very easy. I was completely bounded, and so I wanted to get out of this. And the best thing what I thought is to go to US and get to know about the world. So one thing what we stay here in Belgaum, or still you're supposed to explore. We're not only the ones in the world. There's a very big world outside. We have to know how people live, how people behave, what are the opportunities, where the world is going, where we are right now. This is supposed to be a Kickstarter for you in life, so that you know well before in advance where you want to go. If you are here itself, you see just 10 miles ahead of you and you know I want to go 10 miles ahead, you will probably reach there by the end of your life, but you want to go 100 miles, 200 miles, right? So you should know, you have to broaden your horizons. So that was one of the reasons why I went there. The second thing why I went there is to get out of my comfort zone and learn a lot about life. I have learned so much there within 1 year or 2 years that I was there, which I couldn't learn for the whole life. Life has taught me such lessons. So is to you can say encourage, or you can say appreciate small things what you've got here, which you may not have there. Most of us only see about the flashy things in US, all the cars and all the parties and all the girls and guys. Guys, believe me, that's not even 10% of the life. That is something which you may not even get. Rest of the things are very different. It's very different, and I just loved it being there. So I'll share most of the things with you. And to explore new opportunities basically. So if you are in Belgaum, or if you are, say for example, traveling, you may say I've already traveled outside. Traveling outside is different than staying there and knowing what the things are. Like Raj sir told me that you guys had been to Bombay for industrial tour. Going to industrial tour, seeing that is one thing, but going there, staying there is different. You might have seen your friends from Mumbai or Bangalore or from US, they are really smart. You talk to them and you know, okay, this person is smart, he can do something in life. That's mental growth, which I'll talk about in my talks. So this is one of the primary reasons why I went there. So let's take an example of what I want to do in my own life. I am Pratik Tembe, like I was introduced. I am doing my engineering management masters in US. I have completed with 3 semesters. I have 1 semester still to go. So by the end of December, I will be completing my masters, and after that, I will be hunting for a job. Now, I want a job in management consulting, and as Raj sir might properly know that it's very difficult to get into management consulting. So what management consulting is, I came to know when I went to US. Something like that. So basically being here, we just know few things, right? We just know being a doctor, being you can say an engineer, and after that taking an MBA or something, and that's it what we know. We don't know most of the things in life, which I learned by going there. So management consulting is basically being a doctor of a company. Like you're a doctor and companies come to you with their problems and tell, okay, I'm bleeding out of cash. I have to launch a product, what should I do? So you have to consult to them. You have to tell them how to go about what business, you have to draw business plans for them. So this is what actually you can say I'm passionate about, and I want to take my career there. So this I would have never known if I wouldn't have gone there, where my actually expertise are and where my interest lies. So that's the reason why I went to US. So this is one of the reasons why I went to US. Now let me just brush up a few things about the skills required to have a good career in foreign countries or even in India. Like Raj sir rightly mentioned, let me tell you about the skills these skills which I'm going to tell you, it's apart from the obvious skills like soft skills and everything. These are apart from that. So first skill what Raj sir pointed out is networking. Networking is very important. You guys are all MBAs, you guys are in business. Networking is something you cannot skip. It's actually through MBA how I got a job, through networking how I got a job. It's through networking how I got a co-op, and it's through networking how I'm going to get a job what I want later. It's just because of networking. Basically, when I went there, like Raj sir told you, there was Mr. Pratik is Subodh's son, and so he's going to get a job. It's not that. Nobody knows me there. Nobody knows, and I'm just one of the people in a billion people. So I had to make my mark somewhere. I had to do something different which others couldn't give to the company. So that's, and I knew from the day one that I had to struggle. This is not the life what I actually signed in for. I thought that life would be easy here, but it was not. So networking is something which is very important, and that's how you get jobs. So I'll just give you an example of how I got my own job. So I have done one job in IANTech. That's a boutique firm of marketing consulting. So there is an organization known as STAR, the Indus Entrepreneurs in Boston, wherein all the entrepreneurs come together and they share thoughts and they have boot camps and everything. So they've got a conference wherein I was a volunteer. I was just the guy who changes the slides, and they were very big people right besides me. Have you ever heard the name Gurudat Deshpande? Deshpande? Yeah, yes, Deshpande Foundation. So he was one of the speakers there, and I was so thrilled to even see him because he's a extremely big personality. So for the guys who don't know, he's like, you can say he's even, or he's as good as Narayan Murthy or even bigger to him. So he's as good as that. So I just spoke to him and everything. And during one of the sessions there was a speaker who was speaking, and then after his speech, like normal, I always go to speak to the speaker. I told him that your talk was great, and I could draw many similarities between your early life and my early life struggles and everything. And I told him that, sir, I want an opportunity to work in a company, and my skills are there, so would you help me out with that? And you know what he did? He just gave me his card. Mr. Tembe, you just connect to me after this talk and we can see. This person who never knew me before, believe me, his company is not big at all, so just while away some money or give a job. He's very small company, but he was so impressed with the way I spoke that he told me, Pratik, let's do one thing. I will market you from my company to other companies, saying that I know this person, he's really good, and give him a job. Else, if you don't find a job anywhere else, I will give you a job. That's how I got my job, first job. Secondly, I got the second job, that is Boston University Urban Business Accelerator. I'll tell you more about what I did there and everything later, but I'll tell you how I got this job and a lesson which you can draw from this. So I guess there are many people with many different interests. You can say half of you want to get into marketing, half of you want to get into sales, some people want to get into finance. So there is something known as focused groups or small groups which people form in US. Even you guys can form a group, like, okay, like 5 people want to do a career in finance. You guys can come together, and then you can call speakers like Sir has already done. This is a very excellent opportunity for you. But even you can call amongst your friends, one of your friends' dad or somebody who you know, just to tell you more about the field itself. Many a times we want to get into finance, we wanted to get into marketing, but we actually don't know what's there inside it until we do it. After you do it, you say, oh man, this is not what I signed in for. I did not want to do this. So you don't want that to happen to you. So you just call him, okay, sir, please tell me what, sir, if I would have, an example, if I would have called Raj, sir, I would have told him, sir, please tell me more about finance, what all you did in US. Then he would start telling me about how his life was, how his challenges were and everything. Then I go, okay, this is something which I'm really interested in. Okay? And the way you network is you're sitting right now. You can just ask 1 or 2 intelligent questions so that the speaker knows, okay, this person is someone who's really interested in that field. And then after that event, you can just connect to him, saying that, okay, sir, I like your talk, would you please give me your card, would you please give me your email ID? He'll surely give you. That's something which surely people do give. And you can just email that speaker or that personality about his life or asking any intelligent questions, or then at the end of the day asking him for help. Okay, this is something what I have got, this is something which I want, would you be able to help me out with that? Or this is something, or would you please give me an informational interview or a name of a person who I can go to approach to to help me about this. This is how you network. This is exactly how I networked with one of the speakers, and that speaker told me about a very unique course which was going on in Boston University, which is not even going on in Harvard and MIT. So that was a very peculiar course. It was mostly a internship. So that was something known as Boston University Urban Business Accelerator, in which actually what Boston University does is it takes small businesses across, like small businesses in Boston, and they need a lot of help. They need management consulting itself. They need to restructure their business models. They need to organize their finances. They need to know where the cash is bleeding out and everything. They organize these businesses, and they collect teams, student teams. They teach us how to consult, and they tell us to go to them and apply your knowledge directly. This is something which I got, and it is a course in management consulting which I got there. And this is something which nobody else, you can say my degree or my comparable students have done. So I've got an edge over them, which you always want. Because everywhere you go in interviews, the first thing they ask you is what's different in you and not in others, right? So you have to answer to this question. So this is something which I got there. This is only through networking. That's what I'm trying to tell you, the importance of networking. And networking, why is it important? Tomorrow you're going to go into a job. You're going to have many clients. The more the clients you get, the more business you get, that's how you're valued in a company today, right? So the more you speak better to a client, he's supposed to refer you to another client and you're going to get business. You're going to be the star tomorrow, right? That's why exactly networking is so important. Second thing is when you go there, try to, like anywhere, try to be very friendly with people. Like Raj sir might have already told you, I don't know. People just walk by and say hello to each other. The work culture is very friendly. You can talk to people across departments. So say for example you are in a company, just don't be constrained to your own department or your own cabin. Try to talk to people, try to get to know what they are doing. Is it something which you want to do tomorrow? Is it something or this person will be able to help you in life? Something like that. Try to network. So networking is very important. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand and ask me, okay? Second thing is, very important thing is being alert and being ahead of everyone. Yesterday was a budget, and I guess all of you might have already seen it. Is it obvious that tomorrow you're going to come to university or your college and you're going to have a discussion with your friends about that, right? How many of you did not see the budget and felt stupid coming today and said, okay, when two guys are discussing, you just don't know what he's talking about. You don't know what tax slabs are, you don't know what tax reforms he has done yesterday. One person stands for Modi, one person is not standing for Modi, and you don't have an opinion. You're just standing blank. That shouldn't happen at all. And that's one example what I'm telling you. This is something which goes on every day in life, every day in work culture. People keep on discussing things. And the way you react gives you the value and gives them the, you can say, the knowledge that, okay, this person is actually knowledgeable. This person can be referred to somewhere else. This person can actually get us more business. Something like that. That will make you outshine in life. That will give you an edge over others. When others are just stupidly looking at each other, you can have a good discussion. So I'll tell you an example of how stupid things can get actually. So I used to work in a company known as INTech, like I told you. The company is very, very small. It's very small, hardly about 25 to 30 people. They've got a company back in India. So I used to sit right next to the cabin of the CEO and all the project managers. They were all Americans and I was Indian. I was a little shy to talk to them and everything. So one day what happened is I went to talk to people and then they just disregarded me. Okay, he is still a, you can say, a co-op or intern and he doesn't know many things. I took up the job of saying networking and talking to them. I went and watched a game of football. Football in US is very, very big. Football is American soccer. Next day I came and I spoke to that person about football and he was my fan from that day. Believe me, that's how things work. That's how you have to connect to people on a personal basis. See what he likes. In India, cricket is a religion. You have to know about cricket to talk to them about that. Your client knows about cricket, he's speaking. You have to get that comfort zone, that rapport with them, and then they'll open out to you. Then they'll tell you about their problems or what exactly they want, right? You don't want to have a complete professional. You have to have a professional relationship, but you also need that, you can say that X factor which others don't have and you have, and my client wants to come to you and not to others. You're going to be an entrepreneur tomorrow or you're going to work with somebody. You need this profit-making ability with you, and this is what networking gives you. That's what I felt. And being alert, basically, being alert and being ahead of all. Get to know the latest trends in life. Get to know the latest, you can say, the latest technologies, everything, so you can have a meaningful conversation with somebody they come tomorrow. Third thing which is very important, which I never thought would be so important, is writing emails and writing, basically. It is very, very important. You, in a day, even your professors might tell you, they at least write 10 emails or 5 emails to all the big people or all their clients or their... Think of your image in front of your client or in front of your CEO or in front of your boss when you're writing an email and you do some mistake. What is that person going to think about you? This person doesn't even know spelling, and how can I get him? He doesn't know sentence formation. His English is not good. They judge in 2 minutes. You don't want that to happen. So writing emails, writing skills basically are very important. This is something which is going to, every one of you are going to do, regardless any stream you can go. So please keep that in mind. So that's something very important. Third thing which I would like to tell you is about multitasking, and this is something which I learned on hands-on in US. So like I went there, I went for my first day, and then I came to know, okay, Pratik, first of all you have to earn your own living. You have to study, you have to prepare your own food, you have to wash your own clothes, you have to wash your own utensils, you have to take care of yourself. All of this you are supposed to do. And is there somebody to help you? No. Nobody is there to help you. If you don't do it, it's okay, don't do it. Nobody's going to come and tell you, like your mom does here, that Pratik, do that, do this. Nobody's going to tell you. If you don't earn money, don't earn money. Later you're going to face a problem. If you don't want to study, don't study. Nobody's going to tell you, but you have to do it. It's something multitasking. Time management is something which I learned hands-on, and you will all have to do it later in your lives. Later, when you're going to work, right? You cannot take a leave from your college or your company saying that I want to pay a phone bill, right? This is something which is very important. Your kid is supposed to go to college. You've got to take his admissions. Are you going to tell your this that I'm supposed to go to admissions and I want to leave today? You can't do that. Multitasking is very, very important, and you have to learn as soon as possible. Get to know more things. Get to do more things. Get involved with many organizations. Get involved with many talks and everything, so that you are engaged all the time and you know what time management is, even before you get into the career world, so that you can get an edge over others. That's what my point is. Another very important thing which I already highlighted to you is icebreakers. Like I told you about being alert, this is something, a small icebreaker. When you are talking to your, say for example tomorrow all of you are going to go, or you might have already got jobs, I don't know about that. Interviews are supposed to be very daunting, right? You get tensed before you go. When you talk to your interviewer, if you ask him just a simple question like, did you see yesterday's match? Did you like it? Or the weather outside is really good, what do you think about it? Some icebreaker. It helps immensely. You might even not imagine it helps so much. You can start having a dialogue with him instead of him asking you questions and you answering, right? You can just have a dialogue like you have with your friends. He'll tell you, Pratik, what did you do in your life? You can say, okay, I did this, I did that, that was a little difficult for me, but I'm trying to learn this. He'll tell you what's special in you. You can just talk to him on a personal level basis. You get in that comfort zone, and then you start showing what you actually are. Because in normal interviews or when you are under pressure, you are unable to show your true personality. That's what is a problem with everyone, right? That was a problem with me too. I knew which I was better than others, but I couldn't show off my skills. I used to get under so much pressure talking to people that I couldn't show my personality. So icebreakers are very important. Just, you can see before going to any interview or even doing a call with somebody, just try to rehearse the call before. Like, get to know, just write down points what you're going to talk. Or write down a few icebreakers what you're going to say. It helps a lot. You might not think right now, but then tomorrow you're going to have this conversation with a client or with anybody. This is very important. So please keep in mind icebreakers. And a small tip to every one of you. If you guys do want to learn anything, and you might have not learned in university. So say for example you are a marketing major, you want to learn about finance and accounting. There are many websites on internet which gives you free courses, free online courses. One course if you want to write is Coursera. Coursera is a website which will give you courses across spectrum. If you want to know about psychology, if you want to know about, say for example, sociology, economics, anything, they will give you free courses There are lessons which Stanford has posted. There are lessons which Harvard has posted. All the big universities, the courses the courses they just put online and you can just take them easily. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, as and when you want. And there are few courses which even if you pay them, at the end of the day, they give you an exam online. You can say you can just appear for the exam and then they send you a certificate saying that you have done this course. You can always show it to your employees that I went outside of my way and I did it. Okay, so that's something which I would like to tell you. So these are some skills. If somebody has any questions, please go ahead and ask me, else I'll continue. So now, challenges which I faced when I went to US. So say for example, earning my own living, like I told you, it was very, very difficult initially. So when you go to US, you are not supposed to work anywhere outside your university. You are just supposed to work inside the university. And university is very big. It's like a small city itself. So it has got everything inside. So I worked in a small grocery shop. And have you ever imagined yourself working in a grocery shop where a guy gives things? I was never used to this life. Never ever used to this life. And I never even thought that I'm supposed to do this, but I did this job. Initially I felt a little hitch that what am I doing and what I had come to do. But that was something which I learned so many things there. It is something which I cannot express nor can I share. I don't know what to share about it, but believe me, that's something which you will learn a lot from it. So that's something, doing small jobs.
How did you get that job?
Oh, how did I get that job? That's I guess a story which I told sir. There were many Indian students in my university or many foreign students who were supposed to try for that job. And I went few days late to university. So people are supposed to go a little early to find jobs. I went few days late. Many people had already approached the person who hires. There's one guy known as Bob, very, very scary looking. He's bald and he looks like that. He's very scared first of all looking at him. I don't know how to speak in like that accent English which they don't understand what we speak. So many people used to go approach him. One of my friends told me, Pratik, why don't you also try? I said, yeah, surely, I want some money, I want to try. I went there and then, as usual, he told me, Pratik, sir, we don't have jobs currently, you come tomorrow, we'll see. Then 2 days after that, he said, you come tomorrow. Then after that, he said, come day after tomorrow. So what I did was, I went one day ahead itself. And then that guy told me, Pratik, don't you think you're coming too much here? I said, yeah, it's because I need the job. And he said, sir, I don't have vacancies. I said, sir, you do have vacancies, I just understood from my friends. And he said, yeah, actually I do have and I want to hire people, but I'm trying to search. I said, sir, let's do one thing. You hire me right now, you don't pay me the salary for 1 month. You see how I work. If you like me, you pay the salary, you hire me. If you don't like me, as it is I'm not hired, I'll just walk away. He liked this thing so much that he said, Pratik, I'm going to give you a job right now. Take any department you want, take anything you want. I know you'll behave very well with my customers and you'll see that you'll increase your business. That's how I got the job. So you need to be a little smart, you need to be a little different from what others are to show that you are the special person, what these people need you to be. Okay, that's how I got the job. Thank you so much for the fun. So the meaning, that's what I was talking about. Next thing is target achieving. That's something which you all might have already done or you might do later in life, but that is something which is very, very important. Achieving targets and achieving anything, like very important in college. This is very important in college and professional life. You might be getting assignments, you might be getting, right now it is assignments, later you're going to get tasks of jobs. I don't know what happens in India because I've not worked so much here, but there you have to deliver the task on the day specified. And it has to be your 100%, not 100%, 120%. You have to give more to that. You can't say that, okay, I was not well. I had got my brother's marriage, so I went there for a week. You can't say that. You do hook and crook, you have to submit that assignment then and there. That's something professionalism which you have to learn, no matter what. No matter what, you have to deliver. That's what will give you credibility when people want to give you the next assignment. So initially you're going to be one of the hundreds in the company, right? You want to again stand out. This is something which will make you stand out. Which will, okay, Pratik is a reliable guy. Let us give this assignment to him because this is big. This is some big client which I don't want to lose. So I want to give it to Mr. Pratik because he does everything on time. Hook or crook, he does it. So slowly from 100 you go to the first 50, from 50 you go to 25. So you always want to stand out. So this is something which will really help you out. Time management was something like the challenge which I faced, which I told you about. I couldn't initially cope up with the whole going there and working and doing everything by your own. But later I did, and I started loving this life because you're doing everything on your own. You just get up and you cannot just order, "Mommy, wala coffee there," or just get me a coffee or get me a tea. Where is my bike? Where is my car? Did you fill petrol? This is nothing what works there. You have to do everything on your own. If you are not well, you have to take care of yourself. There's nobody else to take care of you. You have to treat yourself with medicines. Nobody's going to come, okay, Pratik, you're not well, right? Take this tablet. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to take you to doctor. You yourself have to go to a doctor. You call your friend. Let's go to doctor. Something like that. So that life is very difficult. These are basic important lessons which you will learn by doing small things. So work culture was very difficult, very different, which I learned there. It is not like I was used to in India. It's very different. This is a very major hurdle which I faced when I went there and started working. But I had to learn it basically. It is a very good culture, professionalism, punctuality, all these things. We just talk about it right now, but it is very important when you go to professional life. And there in US, this is something which is must. But here, if you do it, you can again stand out. So that's something a plus point, right? So you do everything perfectly, you can go ahead of your colleagues. That's something. Second thing is competition was very immense, extremely immense. So like I told you, about 800 people were applying for the same job what I was applying for. So it is immense, you have to stand out. And standing out basically is not only in academics. There should be many other things in your resume which the employer or your college has to be attracted to it. Okay, Mr. Tembe, how do you show off your leadership skills? I can say, okay, I have got leadership skills. How do you have it? How do you show that you're a leader? Then I can go through my resume. Sir, here, I have done leadership skills. Or you can say, I've got the best protractor, or I led the club for 5 years, or I managed an event. That's how you can show off leadership skills. So academics is one thing which is very, very important. But except academics, please try to indulge yourself in other activities too. That is very important, and that's something which will teach you life and not only academics. Second thing is I faced challenge was expanding my comfort zone. So everything I did was out of my comfort zone basically. So I expanded my comfort zone. So comfort zone, for you to understand, I guess most of you understand that. It is very difficult to go out of your comfort zone and do few things. Say for example, the smallest of small things is visiting a relative which you've never met in life, which is very, very difficult, believe me. I just go to him and say, okay, hello uncle, I'm Pratik, I'm son of Subodh Tembe, you have met only once in life, and I'm his son. Can you even, this even sounds funny, right? Imagine you're doing it. You're going to one of your relatives there, and you visit. So this is something going out of your comfort zone. This will teach you many things which is like unsaid things it will teach you, it will grow your network. So this is like the relative what I talked to you about is the relative which actually gave me reference of Thai Boston and through which I got a job. So it all ties up, right? When I went to that uncle, I never knew that I'm going to get a job through him one day. I never knew it. And believe me, it is very difficult to get co-ops in US. Basically in mechanical sector. If you're in IT sector, you will get it, or service sector, you will surely get it. Mechanical sector, what I'm trying to do is a little difficult to get. So I got a job that was really big deal for me. And getting a co-op was a big deal. So this is how I networked and I got a job. So everything kind of pays off if you go out of your comfort zone. And basically the exposure I spoke to you about, it helps you learn life basically. So what is learning life is mental growth. Do you want to do a job which is like just 10 to 4 and just filling in books? What will happen? You will get the money. You will get 30,000, 40,000, what you want. But is there any mental growth in that? Is there any your personal satisfaction in that? How will you achieve this mental growth? It's by getting exposed to other environments, by going to a big city, understanding what they do. Being a part of that, excelling there is something which you really want or which actually makes you grow mentally. And believe me, after you've got this knowledge, It is sheer knowledge what will actually count later in life. When you're talking about a person, it's, yeah, wealth is something which you will talk about, but it's something about his knowledge which you'll talk about more, which you'll remember him for. Okay, Mr. Tembe has got a Mercedes, that's not the deal. He is a little knowledgeable person, we can have a comfortable dialogue. I spoke to him and I was so taken up by his personality itself. Like I spoke to you about Gurudat Deshpande. That person, I guess his personal worth is about $4 to $5 billion. That's something, it's outrageous. It's not because of his money which people respect him. It's because of his deeds, it's because of his knowledge which people respect him. Even Narayan Murthy, it's because of his knowledge what people respect him, right? So you want that knowledge, you want that thing to get imbibed in you, you want to learn life basically. So that's something you have to, you can only learn when you step out of your comfort zone. Doing something which you've never done before. Go to city, just try to stay there for some time, try to find a job on your own. You'll learn many things. Now that's something. I have spoken enough, I guess. If you guys want to ask me any questions, please go ahead and ask me, or else I'll again continue with what I was talking.
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
What is regarding business accelerator you were telling?
Yes.
At Boston.
Yes.
What is the type of business? Is it the IT business accelerator?
Yeah. So what happened? It is a very small business. So you may even like feel it funny or something. The business which was given to us was a small shop which used to sell mobile phones, used to sell recharges, used to sell many other accessories and everything. This business was given to us. The client's name was Richard, and he was a very small person. And he came to us, like these Boston University people approached him. Like, what do you have there is, say for example, Hindwadi or Bhagyanagar. We've got corporators, right? So corporators actually go to people and ask them what problems do they have. So Boston University went to this one of the corporators and told them, okay, do you have few business which are troubled, which actually need help? Please let us know, we can go and talk to them. So we go and, our professors went and spoke to them. Then he said, yeah, actually I'm doing this business for past 10 years, I'm not growing, I'm here itself. I wanted to do something else in my life, but I'm doing this. So would you please help me out with that? It was very small firm, it was not any IT. But there were others, like we had made groups, there were other companies which used to actually sell some IT products. There was other company which used to sell some own product which were given to us. So basically management consulting is something which you will be put into any sector. You will have to help that company. Tomorrow it may be of IT or it may be of manufacturing. You will have to get into that, learn about the sector and then advise them. Only based on facts. It's something not that, okay, I feel that you guys might do this. Feeling and all is very difficult. It's something which is very, very bad, you can see. You have to base all your arguments on facts and figures only. So you have to go ahead, search for facts. So what we did was we went through his accounts, we went through his sales, we went through his inventory and came to know, okay, Mr. Richard, actually you don't have to sell mobile phones anymore because the margin is very, very less. Let's do one thing, let's sell refurbished phones. What is refurbished phone? Many people come to you to say, okay, my screen is broken. Please change the screen. Screen costs $50. Why don't you offer them, I'll keep this phone with me, you give them a new phone for $75, say that this is refurbished, I have repaired it. Would you like that? They'll surely like it. So what you do is you take this phone, just change the screen for $25 and again you can sell it for $75. So something like that. Change your business plan, something like that. So that was what we did. I guess I answered your question.
Yeah.
You are. So next what I'm going to speak to you about is my experience there. How I worked in Boston University Urban Business Accelerator. So that was something which I went first. Like my first experience was this. Except my university, I had done two courses, 2 semesters in my university, and after which I got this job. You can say this internship. I was supposed to be interviewed for, and then I got this job. I was very happy with it. I went there and I sat besides. I saw that everybody else was a bit younger to me. And everybody else like you was actually MBA, and I was kind of the only MS person there. And then everybody looked at me, Pratik, what do you do? I said I did engineering management, and people were looking at me like that. What did you do? Like that. So I had to explain them before, and they were all finance majors and all finance and marketing, so all were high-fi people. So first mingling with them, talking to them at their level was a little. Not little, but very, very difficult for me. And to add to that, what happened is the first day they made groups, they made me a leader. I don't know how, but they made me a leader. So I had to lead a bunch of people who feel that I'm stupid. Right? That was very, very difficult. I had to first of all get the knowledge and then try to lead them. So that is very, very difficult what I thought. But that's something which you learn hands-on. I cannot tell you or I cannot teach you something like that, but you will find yourself in such situations tomorrow. You will be given a client who you don't even have idea about. I tell you, you are going to be given a client on a slumburger tomorrow. You don't even know what that person is, what you are giving me a client. Something like that. You will be heading a team tomorrow. What will you do first? What will you do? That's something which will be very, very important tomorrow in life. We will face people who even you don't know. So you will have to learn these tactics. How to go about that. How to ask intelligent questions. You don't want to seem stupid in front of them, right? So let's say for example, where do you come from or some stupid questions. They just disregarded me like that. Mr. Pratik, you don't even know anything why you've come here and something like that. But then I built my credibility. I showed them that I had the knowledge to do it and I could excel in many exams there which I gave. So that time they found this respect for me and they started following me, my orders. Or it's not more of orders but sense of direction that we're going to go here. And we took the team together. So that was something which was very difficult for me when I went there. The targets, actually like Madam tell you more about BUBA. The target was just 10 weeks. We had to find out more about the business. We had to do analysis and even recommend within 10 weeks. 10 weeks is, believe me, very, very short. If you want to get the knowledge and apply it, it is very difficult for 10 weeks. So we were given very, you can say, tight targets. We had to achieve few things within that, 2 things within that week. We had to even present what we learned. We had to give a presentation every week to our client of what he is or what we have understood. We had to write down reports as well as do assignments. All of this in 1 week without having the knowledge. So this is something which is very difficult and which we could learn hands-on. We had to take a lot of troubles for that. And believe me, all this was going on when I was supposed to do my on-campus job. I'm supposed to do that job and also do this and also take care of myself. So this whole thing, time management, it teaches you life basically. So that's something which I would like to share with you. Deliveries would be on time. So that's what, so deliveries are very important like I told you. And our team actually stood the first amongst everyone by deliveries. We could deliver everything on time and everything as it was asked for. So we were very proud of that. And we gave a good recommendation to our client and he actually liked us and he was supposed to follow it. I don't know what happened after that, but he was supposed to follow our recommendation. That's something which I learned in Boston University Urban Business Accelerator. Just after that I went to INTech. So INTech, like I told you, the CEO gave me the card and everything, so he knew me personally. Now the problem with me was, okay, Mr. Praveen, his name is Praveen Ramanathan. He was an Indian who hired me and who was the CEO. So there was a very big or humongous pressure on me that this person has hired me without knowing me. He trusts my capabilities just by the way I speak. So I'll have to deliver those. I have to deliver or I cannot make a fool out of him. Are you following what I'm saying? So this is something which I actually felt was very daunting and I fell to that pressure. That was the first time I actually got the pressure of writing emails to the clients, emails to all the senior project leaders. I had to look to my peers. I told them please send me an email. I just looked up at how the language was, how they used to pronounce things, and then I wrote an email. That's something which I learned hands-on. In a small company, and I would like to request you to. So tomorrow you may get offered by very big companies also. Infosys is there. So many companies might come here. Please do not neglect the small companies also which come, because small companies are something which will teach you overall management. So you might be in marketing or you might be in finance, but you being in that field and the company being small requires you to do many other things except finance. You are going to learn finance for sure. You are going to do something which your friends have not done. And you get to learn many more things. Like you get to manage people, you get to know many things about other departments. Now what does this do to you personally or professionally? Tomorrow when you want to apply for a bigger company, they will hire you as a project manager. They will hire you as a product manager, not as one of the, you can say for example, a small analyst or something like that which you are actually supposed to join. Right? So it gives you that knowledge base, it gives you that strength. Okay, I have led so many people, I know this knowledge, which my peers don't know. what your peers might do in, so, say, very big companies, they will stay in that department, they'll stay in what space is confined to them and just do something which is told to them. In this company, in small companies, you basically do your own work, you ask for more, do that too. Only then you are something excelled in that company because it's small. It requires the best of the resources from people to do. So this is something which I really would like to stress, that please do not neglect small companies. Go there, you will have lots of opportunities to grow there. So even if you want to stay back in that company, it will still be that you will grow up the ladder very soon. Very soon you will grow up the ladder. Then you can shift the company, or the best part is, so say for example you are a project manager tomorrow, you slowly grow up the next level. You can start your own business, come on. Why not? You've got the contacts of clients, you've got the strength, you've got the confidence. Why not start your own company? That's something which you learn there, instead of going to a big company and then learning there. So big companies are also very, very good, don't take me wrong, because they teach you something which these companies won't. So I would like to tell you that. And in small firms, a small tip, that please go talk to people around you, because they are very approachable. Cubicles might be very open. You can say the whole structure of the office might be very open. Talk to people, talk to your CEO, give him some ideas what you've got. I'm sure you guys are bright and you might have a million ideas already with you. Or every idea comes like strikes every hour, and you say, okay, what to take that? It's something stupid. Always go and talk to your CEO about it. Praveen, how do you feel about this idea? Do you feel it is feasible? And once like that, I used to talk to him about my ideas, and he actually thought one idea was good, and we started working on that. I helped him get some more clients or something like that. He was very happy with me. So people who knew management consulting hardcore, who were there, and what they did was they shared teams among themselves. So they were like, okay, three groups will be under me, and I will teach them what things are, how analysis is supposed to be done, how Porter forces, 5 forces, what SWOT analysis is, what you have to ask, how intelligent questions you are supposed to ask them. And when we were taught these lessons, we were supposed to go and implement it. That was something. So say for example, one class was how to interview intelligently. So just go on asking questions, what is your name and everything. The client will feel you're stupid. So you should ask intelligent questions so that client knows that you have got the credibility to solve my problem. He has come to you with a problem, and you're not supposed to show him his problem. You're supposed to ask him questions intelligently. You have to get to the root of the problem intelligently. That's how they taught us how to ask questions, how to ask intelligent questions, how to interview people. Or say for example, recommending them something, right? So by the end of the day, we were supposed to present them a report. How a report is to be presented. It should be in a kind of a story format, because that's something which we all have done since our childhood. Listen to stories, and stories makes a lot of sense, right? So when you present your report in a form of a story, or in a form of something which will flow instead of hodgepodge everywhere. So this was taught to us in the last couple of weeks, so we could do the presentations effectively. So something like this. They taught us, and we were supposed to implement. And how the teams were chosen is, what they did was, I'm completely forgetting about this test. There is a psychological test which we do. Sir, I guess you might be knowing, we have got this. By the end of the test, it's a small test. You get 60-70 questions, personal questions. They just ask you randomly situation and you have to answer. Based upon this, they come to know about your personality and how your personality is. Based on the type of personality, they form the teams. So say for example, one is very aggressive. So having another aggressive person in the team will actually hamper the team. So what they do is they have this test done before. It is very simple test. So they did, and they got out our personalities, like how, if one person is very outgoing. If you have got 2 outgoing people, it's fine. But if you have got one team with no outgoing people, then there is a problem again. So they made such that the teams were balanced. You have got all of the people in every team, like mentally alike people who can actually gel with each other. We had got many team problems basically. Psychometric. There's some test. There's the name of this test. You can get online everywhere. We had some team problems, team issues, wherein people couldn't gel properly. In my team, I was an Indian. There was one Chinese, and there were one girl from Greece and one girl from Indonesia. These people were from BU. So BU is supposed to be a very, very high Phi Business School. People are freakingly rich there. So it was difficult for them to, you can say, relate to me, talk to me and everything. And when I told them that I work on campus, I work night shifts, their eyes were wide open. They were like, Pratik, are you kidding me? You're doing this as well as working there. I said, I don't have any choice. It's not by choice that I'm doing it. I have to do it, so I'm doing it. Something like that, right? So we had many problems, but we overcome those, and we are a very good team right now. So we talk to each other on personal basis. You know this, in cell phones we use something, you guys, like right now there is a trend of using 3G. There they use LTE, which is even ahead of 4G. Okay? So when I came back, I just saw this 3G. So here I identified an opportunity that, okay, India is supposed to go from 3G to LTE. So there is an opportunity there which I can tap. No, I can't tap it personally, but you can actually know that there is an opportunity here. So say for example, you've got a telecom friend, you can actually tell him, okay, Mr. X, please go to Airtel. They are supposed to grow their network very high because there is so much demand which is supposed to come. Are you getting my point? So you get to know where the opportunities are. You can come back and help your society here, or you can help yourself basically. Forget about the society. The mental growth which takes place not only here, or even if you leave Belgaum and go to Mumbai, leave Mumbai to go to Delhi, mental growth what takes place is very immense. Even Belgaum is backwards when you compare it to Mumbai. You can go there, you'll understand things. Man, you have to learn life before you actually start living it, right? How stupid would you feel if people come and just fool you? Thank all of the IMER and KLS staff for being here and giving me this opportunity to speak. So that actually I can share my knowledge with you all and you guys can get benefited. And people who are watching in the web, please do watch, and not only what I said, but previous 11, I guess I'm the 12th, so previous 11 please watch. And even I'm going to go and watch all the 11 which were there. And try to learn about personalities, how they grew, what was Guru Deshpande's life, what was Narayana Murthy's life before, how he achieved what he is today, how he got that smart trick, what he did. Please understand everything. I guess you guys all know about Apple, right? And you should know what Steve Jobs was and what he did. He was kicked out of his own company. That's something which even we get tears in our eyes. He was kicked out of his own bloody company which he did so big. And then for his knowledge, he went and started another company which became successful. And Apple started going down when they understood that they have to get him back. So these are great personalities. There is another personality known as Elon Musk, which even Raj might know. So just try to research on the web what people do in life. Try to get as much news as possible, and you will be benefited some way or the other. I am for sure. Thank you so much if it is all.